1,000 subscribers. Wow, that is quite something. Obviously, I did see it coming, it's the next development after 900, and in recent months and weeks, I've been increasing subscribers rather quickly, shall we say, but still, to actually be here, to have achieved 1,000 subscribers, it feels very, very surreal, really. So yes, thanks to every single one of you that has subscribed to me, watched my videos, liked them, commented on them, interacted with me. It's just been such a great experience being on YouTube for these past, nearly 3 years. And yeah, no plans to stop, slow down. I can't wait to see what the future has in store. Really, really exciting stuff. And to have reached 1,000 is just mental. So yeah, thanks a lot, guys. So I was thinking in the lead up to this, when I kind of figured that I was going to be hitting 1,000 pretty soon, I was like, okay, I need to come up with an idea for an 1,000 subscribers special. It's important that I do this to mark the milestone and say thank you to everybody, all my subscribers. And it was very important to me when thinking about what this video should be, that A, it should kind of be something that you guys want to see, something that makes sense in the context of my channel, drawing on past successes, what's been popular, what's kind of got me to the stage I'm at, and kind of developing that to the next stage, what would you guys like to see next? Because to me, it couldn't just be another top 10 or figure adventure. It needed to be a development, something new, something special for both you as the viewer and for me as the person making the video and the person that's reached the milestone. And I was thinking about how a lot of people, a lot of YouTubers, they celebrate milestones such as 1 or 2 or 5 years on YouTube, but I'm not personally really big on that, because even though I did make my first video on YouTube just under 3 years ago, Art of the Daleks wasn't the first attempt at a Doctor Who figure adventure that I'd ever made in my life. Yes, it will always hold a special place in my heart for being the first one that I actually published online, but it wasn't my first figure adventure. And I think really that joining YouTube was merely a smaller development in the making of me as a person. Yes, it renewed my passion for making videos and helped me to gain exposure and confidence, but it wasn't what got me going in the first place. And for an 1,000 subscribers special, I kind of want to go right back to the start, link it all the way back to when this journey began. And I don't see that journey as beginning in May 2014 when I started YouTube. I actually see it beginning right back on the 22nd of March 2008, the day I became a Doctor Who fan. So what exactly was it that got me into Doctor Who on that March afternoon in 2008? Well, it was this. Doctor Adventures issue 56, which was on sale in the week 20th to 26th of March 2008. So I'm not exactly sure of the date, but I think it was the 22nd, because that would have been the Saturday of that week, and would have been when we were most likely to go on our supermarket shop, because that's where it happened. I just picked this up basically in our supermarket. It was Waitrose in Newark in Nottinghamshire, because that's where I used to live. Don't live there anymore, I live in Yorkshire now, but that's where it happened, yep. And yeah, like I say, we were just in Waitrose. I was selecting a magazine, as you do when you're like 7 years old, because that's how old I was. And basically, I definitely remember some prompting from my dad to just check this one out, oh look, what's that kind of thing. And yeah, something drew me to this Doctor Who Adventures issue. So yeah, I guess I'll just talk you guys through how I kind of came across this and what it meant for me, and how really I remember this magazine getting me into the show. So yeah, it's got a TARDIS on the front, which is a good start, I suppose, because that is a pretty integral element in Doctor Who. I still have this free gift as well. It was a time agent kit thing with magnets and a pen, stickers in a little folder, and a psychic paper pad and a badge as well. Yeah, I've still got that somewhere, I think, which is interesting. Maybe it was that 8 free gifts. Maybe that's what attracted me to the magazine and to Doctor Who. I don't know. Nice little label there. Yes, this was my first DWA magazine and what got me into the show. So let's have a look inside. Ah yes, this is quite nostalgic here, this Hot Wheels adverts. I've never liked Hot Wheels, but, well, you used to get loads of advertisements for Hot Wheels and things like that, little toy brands and ranges in DWA back in the day. So that, yeah, that's quite nostalgic, quite interesting. Over here I've got an introduction to the magazine, some of the things inside. One thing that was quite interesting, well, coincidental really, is that they used to have those little fact file things there, like the Doctor's Data, the first Doctor, and, well, yeah, in this issue, the Doctor's Data thing was for the first Doctor, so it's kind of a bit coincidental that to start this massive collection up of those, you used to get the, you cut them out and they had facts and pictures and stuff about each Doctor and each character in the show, and it was just quite coincidental, really, that the issue that I picked up, the issue that got me into the show, and my first issue of the magazine, my first Doctor's Data fact file, was on the first Doctor. Quite spooky, really. Look down there, it's a hybrid. Moving on to the second spread of pages, Secrets of the TARDIS, very nice. Yeah, I mean, I suppose really, the TARDIS, like I say, it's a pretty integral element of Doctor Who, and a good one really to get you started. Some interesting facts and stuff about the TARDIS, key moments, behind the scenes stuff like that. Now this is where it slightly gets a little more complicated, because back in those days, 2008, when I had this magazine every week, I used to cut out the posters and do all sorts of stuff, make collages from little bits that I'd cut out. So I think there was some kind of poster here. Over here is one of those little things they did with like a key scene from a Doctor episode in storyboard comic strip form, basically. It's Of Love and Monsters, the Absorbaloff, obviously. Some people would say that is not a great example of one of Doctor Who's greatest moments, but I would beg to differ. Maybe to be continued in a Defending Love and Monsters video one day. Watch this space and let me know if that's something you'd like to see, because I do quite like Love and Monsters. But anyway, more of that another time. Ultimate Guide to Doctor Who, some Series 3 episodes here, because obviously March 2008, the most recent series had been Series 3 in 2007, about a year ago. Series 4 came in April, so a bit later on. But yeah, there's some bits about some of the kind of middle/latter episodes of the series here. Over the page, oh yes, Be a Clockwork Robot. The joys of this. It wasn't really that great, and as you can see, I kind of gave up a bit here. Cut out one of the straps and left the other one kind of half cut out, because to start with, you needed a Clockwork Robot mask, which came with a previous issue of Dwa. So you couldn't have the face, the most kind of iconic part of the costume, if you hadn't got that issue. Then there were these straps that went on your shoes, I think, and these cuff bits that kind of went on a coat, or well, it says dressing gown, a coat, dressing gown, and a weird wig thing down there. So there we go. That wasn't really too great. Not a great representation of a Clockwork Robot. But hey, back then, I guess I didn't know, because I had no clue what a Clockwork Robot was, because I hadn't seen the girl in the fireplace. And now, having turned the page, having cut that strap out for the Clockwork Robot thing, I kind of committed an act that was sacrilegious. I cut out some of the classic series, Leela and the Fourth Doctor, and the Face of Evil. But then again, back then, I wasn't as steeped in classic Who. I didn't have as much understanding about it and a kind of, knowledge of it as I do now. But it is interesting to see, actually, that there are kind of little tidbits of classic Who in my first exposure to Doctor in this magazine. This thing here, a quiz on the Cybermen. I don't know how I got the answers with this. I think most of them are right. But obviously I hadn't seen any Cyberman episodes when I bought this magazine, so that is a bit of a mystery to me. Probably just Googled them or something. K9. Yes. This was the first Doctor fact file thing I was talking about earlier. Yeah, nice to see K9 in here. Again, another kind of bit of exposure to the classic series, which is nice. Here, iCarly, that was another classic advert they used to put in Doctor Who Adventures. It's even got the Doctor Who 10th Doctor era font to make it kind of more, integrated into the issue. Watch this, it's to do with Doctor Who, even though it's not. Yeah, beautiful TARDIS poster here. They always used to have these in Dwa, the kind of central pages, you pull them out and have a nice double-sized poster, which was very nice. And as I said earlier, I cut out and pulled out all the posters in Dwa, stuck them on my wall. Yeah, as I kind of became a Doctor Who fan, and, kind of cemented my new interest in this show. Yeah, another classic advert there, Beastly. I remember seeing that one a lot around this time. Oh yeah, the comic strip as well. Integral part of Dwa, obviously. Although I think this is like part 2 of a 3-part story or something, so I've missed the first bit, which was no good. But anyway. Oh yeah, and these pages as well. Yeah, where you used to send stuff in and get your photos and drawings. Some puzzles here. Look at my little writing and scribbling over here. Wow. Nice 10th Doctor hairdos here. And then the back, basically. Another nice bit of classic info, which is interesting to see that they kind of included this in this issue. And the back page is missing, because I think I cut it off, or I don't know, maybe there's a poster or something on there. I'm not exactly sure where it's gone. But yeah, that's it. My first issue of Doctor Who Adventures, and my first exposure to the show. Very battered these days, missing pages, sellotaped together, but obviously quite nostalgic to me, and an important item in my collection. As I say, I just got this at Waitrose by chance, really, although with some prompting from my dad when selecting a magazine on the weekly grocery shop. I suppose it must have been, and that's why I think it probably was a Saturday in this kind of range, the week it was published, but I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, I think it probably was the 22nd, but I'll never know for sure because we don't have receipts or anything like that. I don't know where they would be. They probably don't even exist anymore. They're probably binned at the time. But yeah, so I got this at Waitrose, and then the week after, basically I had it reserved more locally at our local spa in our town, the town that I lived in at the time, and I got it there for many years, really. Well, until I moved to Yorkshire, I continued to get it there. So Dwa kind of played a pretty big part in the making of me as a Doctor Who fan, really. It was my first exposure to the show, as I say, and I got it every week or fortnight when it turned fortnightly after that. I do always remember the moment I bought this magazine as kind of being the point at which Doctor Who started to become a part of my life. But there were little bits before that, little fragments of memories that I do have. For example, I think the year before, I might have possibly caught a bit of Last of the Time Lords, because I remember seeing the wooden panelling on the Valiant. Well, obviously now matching up to the episode, now I've seen it properly, but I think I might have possibly caught a glimpse of that somehow. I remember going to my cousin's once, and I think they put on a DVD of The Age of Steel, that bit where it's dark and the Sidemen marching about, and, you know, taking people to be converted. I have quite vivid memories of that, really. Well, still pretty vague. But the big one, really, was the Christmas before this, Voyage of the Damned. I'm pretty sure, and so is my dad, you know, I've asked him about it, today, the day I'm filming this. We're pretty sure that I watched that all the way through, although I only have memories of watching the bit where the Titanic goes over Buckingham Palace. But yeah, I'm sure my dad kind of encouraged me to watch that and get into the show then. But for some reason, it was only buying this magazine in March 2008 that I really remember as the moment when I became a Doctor Who fan. And I then reserved the magazine, like I say, every week after that. I watched Series 4 of the show, and yeah, the rest is history. From then on, I was just a fan of Doctor Who. But it is weird to think, looking back at this kind of humble issue of Doctor Adventures, that this is what it was, and to think I picked this up off the shelf, brand new, and it changed my life forever, you know, and as a consequence, I started having an interest in videos and film editing, and then YouTube, you know, with Figure Adventures and all that stuff, and that's how I've got here today with 1,000 subscribers. It's just a really strange thought, really. So yeah, that's something for you to ponder on, something for me to ponder on, definitely. Yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Again, thank you so much for 1,000 subscribers. It really means a lot to me. And I will see you very soon for more stuff. I guess some Series 10 related content sometime soon. There's also the next instalment of the quest for Scovox, the King's Chamber. I know it's been a long time since the last one, but I am planning to make that with 5-inch figures, the new 12th Doctor figures. I'm planning to make that over the Easter holidays, but we shall see if it gets released then or finished or whatever. But that is the plan. So yes, the King's Chamber, Series 10 content. Then I guess, you know, your general top 10s and all sorts of stuff like that. That's the future of the channel, what I've got planned. and plenty more, you know, beyond that into the future. A lot more stuff. As I said at the start of this video, no sign at all indication of slowing down. Got no plans, no things to do that. So yeah, lots planned, very exciting. Please do stick with me. Subscribe if this is your first video that you've seen on my channel. And yeah, I will see you very soon for the next one. Bye for now, guys.